Hi there, my name's Kristie, and in this video I want to share with you an incident that happened with me yesterday. The reason I want to share this is perhaps we could have a bit of a chat about it and share some information on it, and it might save a life. So I've been on holidays for the last few weeks, travelling up the west coast. Yesterday I left Monkey Mia and I was just past Denham, probably about 10 minutes south, and I was traveling in a 110 kilometre an hour zone, and I was using my cruise control, and I was traveling at 100 kilometres an hour. All of a sudden what happened was my car just locked on throttle, and I instantly put my foot on the throttle because knowing that you can quickly do that and release the distance, it didn't do that. My car had locked in on throttle. I then tried to put my foot on the brake a few times and there was no movement. Obviously then there's a lot going on in my mind, but I had seconds to react. I knew that it wasn't a good idea to put my handbrake on. I was going at a high speed, and I'd been in car rollovers when I was a lot younger because of a car blowout. So I'd remembered that that wasn't a good idea. So luckily I'd moved very quickly, and what I did was to slow the car down to safety, was turn the car off and get it into neutral. The seconds went really quick. I'm not even sure exactly the order or what I actually did to get the car to eventually slow down. Unfortunately, what I did was I slowed down and stopped, and I'm halfway kind of down a very big hill. So when I looked in the rear vision mirror for safety, I'd realised that I'm in a dangerous place because you could travel 110 kilometres. It's very common with cars and caravans to be in this area, and they would just be coming down and they wouldn't see me until it could be too late. So what I did was the car was off. I tried to restart the car, but when I restarted the car, the throttle was still flat, so I could not put it into drive. Luckily for me, I was safe, and the next car that came slowed down enough not to hit me. They were a couple travelling in a four-wheel drive, and they came to ask help. I did have the emergency lights on, indicators on both sides at that time. Knowing that I had to move quickly to do all this. Now, what actually had happened was my cruise control had locked on full throttle, and there was no way that it could be unlocked. So I think that this would be a pretty rare situation. I'm not really sure. That's why I'm doing the video, to find out from other people or what they would suggest would have been the best thing to do, or did I do the right thing? And perhaps if you found yourself in this situation, that this video would be able to give you some insights, because you only have seconds to act. I remember looking at the speedo going from my 100 up to 160 before I could get the engine turned off. I was going at really high speed, and I've never heard of this situation personally. I've never read about it before. It was very, very frightening. I felt like the car was possessed and it was just taking over, and of course it was. I was lucky that the people that stopped took control, because I'm sure that my mind was going into quite a bit of shock, even though I knew that I was safe at the time because of the adrenaline and the panic of the whole thing. We got a mechanic to come out and have a look at the car because you couldn't drive the car. And what it ended up being was the cruise control had got locked and onto a cable tie underneath the motor, and it was a very freaky accident. So if you're watching this video and you've experienced something like this, or you know a bit about cars and you would have a suggestion on what to do, perhaps if I wasn't going in a straight line and I was slowing the car down, perhaps if I had turned my wheel to stay on track, it could have locked. So anyway, thanks for listening. I'm safe. It definitely shook me up. I knew that it could have, just within seconds, things could have changed, and I may not have been here today. But I'm glad that there was no one in front of me, no one coming towards me when the incident happened, and I was on the road safely and I got through it. So let me know in the comments, please. And look, I'd really appreciate if you have the opportunity to share this video and let's talk about it. Maybe it might just save someone's life.